Welcome to the channel, I'm Tom, this is my table, and on my table today I have the parts for a £625/$750-ish gaming PC that I've put together with used and new parts. And yeah, it should be a little bit of a beast at 1080p while also being pretty damn capable at 1440p, and it should also be able to handle a little bit of editing on the side. So buckle up.
Buckle up, Teddy.
Leave a like and sub to the channel if you're new. Let's get into the parts. Sliding on in then, we have the Ryzen 5 5600, which is going to be our CPU for this build. And I managed to get this for a great price of only £60. Brand new, this will set you back about 120. And the only other thing you can get around this price point, which is about £80, is an i3 12100F or a Ryzen 5 5500. Moving on to the motherboard, we have the Gigabyte A520M KV2, and it's a bare bones motherboard that will absolutely do for this PC. But if you do have a 3 slot graphics card or more, I wouldn't recommend it, just because the USB 3 header is below the PCIe for the graphics card, which I don't know whose idea it was to put it there, but it's just something to bear in mind. Then we have our cooler, which is the Thermalright Frozen Prism 360 Black ARGB all-in-one liquid cooler. And I don't know how they're selling it for this price because it's an absolute monster. And yeah, it was only £53 at the time that I bought this, brand new. For RAM then, I've gone for a 32GB kit of DDR4 running at 3200 MHz. And this is a brand that I've never used before, but so far it has been working pretty damn well, and it was only £58. And then that's joined by a 1TB Nvme SSD. Again, a brand I haven't used, but again, it was only around £48 I think this was, and it's working pretty well as specified, so I've got no complaints so far. Then again, we don't know if it's going to last the test of time, so maybe I'll put an update to the video in the description if it does end up conking out. For our graphics card then, I've got the Gigabyte RTX 3070, and again, I think I got a pretty good deal on this. I got it for £250, and on the used market, a 3060 Ti is around about that, and buying a new 4060 is around about that price, just a little bit more, so this just makes a lot more sense. For the power supply then, we've got the GameMax 80 Plus Bronze 700 watt unit, and this is a pretty cheap power supply. I think I got it for £38, but it's going to do the job, and it's got plenty of headroom within the wattage. Finally, housing our build then, we have the Concept Micro Gaming Cube from Cit. And it was a decent little chassis to build in. It had a few hallmarks of it being a cheap case, such as thin metal, but at the end of the day it made up with that with a fan hub and then 3 ARGB fans included, so you can't really grumble at it. So overall, I think the PC ended up doing pretty well. There were a few 0.1% low results that were a little bit low in Warzone and F1 in particular, and that was just because in F1, when the lights go out, you always get a little bit of stutter, and then in Warzone, as soon as you jump out the plane, usually there's a little bit of stutter as well, so that's the reason for those. In terms of temperatures, the CPU stayed a really cool 44 degrees. It never went above 45, so that was pretty chill. And the GPU in that case, considering that all the fans were exhaust fans and there was no actual intake fans, I would like to put some in the bottom, but I didn't want the cost of the PC to go up too much. Yeah, the GPU temperature stayed at around 67, 70 degrees, so again, not too bad there. So yeah, let me know what you thought of the build, and if you would have done anything different. You could make this build a little bit cheaper, obviously, by getting rid of the AIO cooler, and you could save probably 25, 30 pounds, something like that. But yeah, let me know where you would make changes, and if you like the video, leave a like. But that'll be all from me. Bye.